guys, this is Myrna Lynn's cooking class. I am going to be teaching you today how to make and enjoy chocolate chip cupcakes, okay? This recipe, you can make it into a cake, you can make it into a flat sheet cake, you can put it into 2 rounds and then slice those in half and have a 4-layer cake. Along with this recipe, which we won't make right now, but along with this recipe you will find that there's some icings that you can make with this too. There's a brown butter filling that you can put in between the layers if you like, and then there's a chocolate ganache that you can put on top, okay? We're just going to be making the cupcakes right now so we don't overwhelm you, but I will have the recipes for the other ones along with the recipe for this, okay? So these are chocolate cupcakes, but you can add whatever you want into them, and today we're going to be adding some chocolate chips. They're made with stevia. I'll show you later, but they're Lily's chocolate chips, and we're going to be adding some pecans today, okay? So you can add walnuts. I just ran out of walnuts today, actually. So let's get started. This is so darn easy, and I just want you to not be overwhelmed. I want you to understand that this is something you guys can make for you and your family. The reason I like to do them in cupcakes is because then you can throw them in the freezer and take them out as needed, and what we're doing here makes about 24 cupcakes, okay? So the first things first is you're going to need about 4 cups of almond flour, blanched almond flour, and I use my little sievie thing here. It's a sifter. I must have got it at a garage sale somewhere. It's like an antique. You don't have to have one of these. You can just use a plain sieve like this to get out the chunks and make sure that they're all nice and fine. Or if you don't have either, it's okay. You're fine. You just dump it in and then kind of stir it around to make sure it's all clump free, okay? And what I like to do in this is I also add a half a cup. So there's 4 cups of almond flour, a half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of sea salt, okay? So I got all of this in here, and I'm just sifting everything together, so it just works out really well that way. That way you can just, it mixes while you sift. But again, you don't need this little thing. This is my fun little thing. I think I grew up with one of these, and that's why I liked it. So, and that way, at the bottom you'll see that there's some bigger chunks, and there, you just go in there and push them down a little bit, and then you're done. So, whoops, so that's that. Anyways, I got a little bit on me here. So here's your mixture. The other thing, so that's the dry ingredients. What you got to do now is we're going to make the wet ingredients. And I use my Bosch, which is a mixer. Every Mennonite girl in Saskatchewan gets their Bosch, so I got mine about 30 years ago from my mom and dad, and like Bosches go, they never break down, so it's been a great machine. But you don't need anything. You can have there's the KitchenAid. If you have one of those, great, use that, or just use a whisk and you can mix everything together. Nothing has to be like super mixed here. We're just going to incorporate it. So you can I probably don't even need this, I just always do. Or I don't know if you guys have ever seen like these egg beaters. These are very cool. They're kind of retro because they used to be, very popular in the 60s and 50s, but I love it. And you can pick these up anywhere. So you can use that too, but it doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. So we're going to use 5 eggs, and I just throw them right in there. And with that, we are going to throw in a cup of erythritol. That's a plant-based sweetener that I like. If you guys have Swerve, use a cup of the Swerve. If you're using erythritol, I also added in here 1 teaspoon of stevia glycerite, which I've talked about before. So 1 cup of erythritol and a teaspoon of stevia glycerite is equivalent to about a cup of sweetness. So if you're using Swerve, you just need to do 1 cup. I like to mix them. This is my favorite one, but you definitely don't have to, okay? So you can use whatever one you like. But make sure they're plant-based sweeteners that do not raise your blood sugars, like I've mentioned on my previous video. So I put the cup of the sugar in there, and then we have a cup of almond milk. You can use coconut milk if you like. I'm not a big fan of soy milk, so it has some issues with it. But anyway, so almond milk is a really good choice. And then I have 1 whole tablespoon of vanilla. Alrighty. And then all we do with this is, I kind of put the lid on a little bit, you just mix it up, and it just takes all of 10 seconds or so. That's it. that's why I'm saying this is so easy to do by hand, and you definitely don't have to get your whole mixer ready for this. And now I'm just going to pour the whole thing of dry ingredients, which is my 4 cups of almond flour, half a cup of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt. Alrighty, and that just goes right into there. Just get this out of here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big mess here, so I'm just going to pulsate a little bit here so it doesn't go nuts. And again, this just barely, you just have to mix it till it's mixed. It's not, you don't need this machine to do this. I mean, it's pretty, you can easily do that by hand, okay? And then we're going to add our goodies. I'm adding about a cup of these chocolate chips, and these are ones I've spoken about before. These are my Lily's chocolate chips. They're sweetened with stevia, and I pour that in there. And then I'm adding, I ran out of walnuts, so I'm doing the pecans today. So I'm adding a cup of pecans, and then again, just mix that up a little bit, and that's it. So you got batter, you got enough batter here for 24 cupcakes. And so I'm sure you guys have cupcake pan, and if not, you can pick them up anywhere. Please do make sure that you put liners in, because else it's a real pain getting them out. You have to really, really grease it and stuff, and I still have a hard time getting out. So I just make it into the muffins like that. So we fill those up, and let me see, where's my scooper thing here. Anyway, so once you fill those up, and it should make 24, so this is 12 right here, so it should make 2 of these. Then you put it in an oven of 330 degrees. I played with that a little bit, and to me 330 degrees, it just seems about the right temperature. And then because you're making cupcakes, anywhere between 20 to 25 minutes, and check in between to see if they're done, and you can use a toothpick. If you're doing a cake, you might have to do 25 minutes and a little bit more and check it just because it's bigger. But cupcakes, they seem to be good around 23, 25 minutes, so give that a try. So when you're done, because I've already made you guys a batch, when you're done, you end up with these really, really nice cupcakes, okay? They're just beautiful. So these taste amazing just like this, or you can go ahead and either make the ganache or the buttercream icing that is going to be attached with the recipe. Or another thing that I know we like to do is I love a homemade cranberry sauce. And I make it with erythritol and some lemon peel and orange peel. And I just boil down a whole thing of cranberries with about maybe a cup of water and about half a cup of erythritol, and you add, as you know, depending on how tart you like it. I just boil it all down so it's almost like a jam, and it's fantastic because it's so low glycemic, because you know how tart cranberries are. But cranberries on top of this cranberry sauce on top of this is really, really good too. Or as I say, just plain is perfect. All right. So I hope you guys just will start having fun with all the foods that you can make, and feed your family and friends. Never feel denied. There's no reason to ever feel denied, okay? Because we can work around the issues of what, you know, the regular baked goods are, and change them into something that is good for you and does not raise your blood sugars. So enjoy. Let me know how you do. Let me know if you have questions. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks.